Okay, this is TSdL, Season 7, round of 64. We have MeowSensei versus Vfree. Vfree opening up with a first ban Wedem, with 3 tanks in the box like Christie, Hilda, and Juggler. Pretty much tells you that Vfree more so wants to play tank push. The question here is, does Vfree want to first pick a Magic Guard tank? Looking at MeowSensei's box, the only thing that is shown right now as far as mages go is Lucretia and maybe Bozel, so you don't necessarily have to first pick a tank here. And since Saraza was first banned, given Meow's playing a more AoE leaning box, that makes sense. So even if Hilda and Christie get banned here, then Lucretia can't abuse the fact that guard is being ignored. Bozel technically can, and I mean Kira already ignores guard anyway, so you don't really care if you have a magic pick against her or not that much. First pick healer if you're playing tank push and your Rozing gets first banned is generally pretty sensible. Hey Zeno. As for, we haven't talked about the box. One moment. Okay, so MeowSensei's box more leans towards debuff AoE. Solid dark base in the box with units like Omega, and there's a Bozel of course. Chooses to first ban Razum, which, with also Lana's dark as well. Lana's also more of an AoE unit. She can kind of single target, but generally speaking, you'll see her ran AoE. MeowSensei banning Epsilon because that's, well, with all this AoE, I guess at this point a lot of it can get banned out. MeowSensei recognizes that. Just doesn't want to deal with the power of Epsilon. Just bans out the legs in Kira, and bans out the annoying untargetable shenanigans in Epsilon. I mean, even if you have like a good AoE answer to him, it can still be really annoying. Especially when you're going to be fighting a Kira, you can potentially AoE heal him and get him back up to 100%. Rosin's still available, even Juggler's still up. And maybe Vfree just thinks that he can handle the rest of the stuff in MeowSensei's box. I mean, looking at it, there is a decent... Yeah, MeowSensei probably picks up Bozel here, I'd guess. Although, with a... Hello, Granla? I think that's right. Vfree picks up the Sherry, who... If she gets Christie buff, if she has Tear, if she has some other stuff, then Bozel can potentially get sniped by Shatter Raid Sherry with Goblins. Christie gets banned, does not want to give that hefty 18% damage buff to the Sherry. Does do wonders for her, because she has very high attack, but not as high damage. Interesting that Meow leaves up Wedem so long, but... At the point Vfree picked Sherry, he had to pick Sherry or he would not have gotten an assassin fighting against Christie. One other issue is that there is a Toa in Vfree's box, which, at this point, there's nothing she can guard ignore, so Toa is basically not an assassin. And she doesn't have a buff anyway. The only thing that could potentially be guard ignored would be Himiko, who has her single target teleport back, and Ares, who, generally speaking, can engage first. Vfree cutting out all of MeowSensei's sources of healing. Flo, Rosin, Juggler, Liana. And Vfree does see that against a Bozel, and with all this AoE left in the box, other than, I guess... Yeah, maybe like all the healer bans are a bit too aggressive. But MeowSensei opts to pick the single target unit anyway, and Sherry. Himiko gets banned because her push is really annoying, her debuffs are really annoying. Ares is probably the most effective threat against Dog on a single target basis, particularly after some AoEs happen. Sherry kind of wants to eat the gospel from Liana, so Juggler might not necessarily have it. It could also depend on what accessory the Juggler is. If it's Blood Pack Juggler, then he probably needs gospel a bit less, right? Poe does not necessarily need to be banned there. Like I said, she doesn't have a faction buff, so she isn't guard ignoring anything. She is a single target DPS. She just makes sense. I guess giving Hilda isn't a big deal to MeowSensei's comp. Hilda and Sherry generally function off of... They don't need to crit to function. But giving Florentia there seems a bit dangerous, because now Vfree has a double act again composition. But maybe as long as MeowSensei plays in tank range, he'll be okay. Kira is not actually really threatening anything here. She should not be able to kill Liana. She shouldn't kill Sherry, can't kill Dog, I mean she can punch him. Can kill Helena in some scenarios. Depends on the Helena, depends on whether or not she has terrain, if she's off tiles, depends on... It really does depend on how the Helena's built. Because HP scales very well with how much damage reduction she gets. But yeah, double act again looks pretty scary on Vfree's side. MeowSensei's answer seems to be huddle around the tank and then maybe nothing can happen with the act agains. But there is also a Juggler versus Christie matchup, which Christie does not have any way to remove the Juggler off of her. Sherry can. She can bring her new Toothsea Holy Thunder, which does push enemy units back 2 blocks. So Sherry could be the answer to Juggler jumping here. Because it doesn't look like MeowSensei is going to have a very easy time getting through this team. Helena's not really going to walk into disposal AoE range. Sherry probably doesn't have to either. The healers are just going to stay really far back. So would I give an edge to one team here? I mean, if it goes really long, the disposal can get some team-wide AoEs down, then maybe that could open up some opportunities for Kira to snipe. I did not bring Leviathans. I'm not a big fan of Leviathans on this map. There are these depth tiles that Leviathans help a bit with, but I mean you can still walk through the center of the map, no problem. Which is more prone to blockage, but more pertinently, you lose so much threat range. Double act again Omega, hoping to skill check some people. Double guard ignore, or wait, no, yeah, not double guard ignore, Star Sword. When Kira's your healer, you're also fighting a Juggler. I do really like this skill. I think it's good. No answer for Juggler jumping on top of Christie. Sherry wanted to bring Shadow Rain instead, which is understandable. With Christie buff, could maybe kill Flo? Maybe. Also has to bring buff because he wanted to buff Kira, although honestly I don't know. I guess he also wants to guarantee that he can tank the Sherry. Maybe she would have brought Raid. But if you can tank the Sherry, then maybe more debuffs could be better here. Because this is all about getting something for Kira or Omega to be able to. It's interesting that both these players brought no Goblin Sherry. Everything else is pretty standard. Master of Ice is actually pretty interesting on Juggler. Could definitely prevent MeowSensei's units from following up. Bozo also grounded himself with Crystal Warlocks, so could buy Vfree some reprieve for the rest of his units to pile in. One issue with this double act again sort of composition is you're really reliant on your carries. And both these carries kind of have to go in to the opponent's face, so it'll be difficult to make an act again play happen in that regard. So you could, and plus Vfree's already player 2, so he already always gets the last act. Let's take some look at skill matchups. So this Helena gets tripled. Oh wait, yes, this Helena does get tripled. Wait, no, sorry, the Sherry gets tripled. Sherry is 522. Omega has 546. Helena built to counter Omega. Flo's dead, but I mean. And Liana's just fine 2 times. So the question is, does Omega kill this Sherry? No auras to help, no damage reduction to help. At the same time, there's no damage boosting steroids on MeowSensei side either. Just a base ass Omega against a tripled Cherry. I want to say Omega could probably kill. But maybe not. I don't know. I'm not no Mega main. Need Zilda over here. Well, then again, would Zilda really help because Zilda would just say it's dead. So... Definitely kills. Yes, Genshin music. Yeah, definitely fails Helena. There's no way Omega's killing a doubled unit that's actually bulky. Triple, maybe. I mean, it is 65% damage reduction. This does not look like your Twilight Star Omega. It's definitely not, because you need Insidious Pendant to reach that much skill. Genshin has some banging ass music, dog. Oh, can all these assassins get through? With such limited healing, I mean, Vfree doesn't really have to take it fast. Liana also gets doubled, so she's very much safe. But really, it's just Flo and maybe Sherry. You can use Helena and Juggler to push up. Create some space. You can sort of use these mountains and riverside to create a little bunker over here, which helps still let you push up a bit towards the center. Cherry dead to Omega Law, yeah. That's what Rope said. I'm not well versed in Omega. She's tripled, that's all I can tell you. But if everybody thinks she's dead, I'll agree she's probably dead. There's just so much DR though, like 65% and Omega has no damage increase in his kit. It's crazy to think about, but I mean, I guess these Shinobis have 30% damage. 40 ticks to hero though, yeah. I guess if you want to like put it in perspective, then the only times I've seen Omega really fail 3 times is against Shrine Maiden healers. And Shrine Maiden healers are 75% damage reduction and can have more HP than the Sherry. So that makes sense. Vfree immediately going in. Does not hit the Kira, which is very pertinent because now Kira has to spend an action to respond to this AoE. Dark Elves probably kill Helena? I don't know about that, because Kira attacks first and hits the angels. Yeah, this also protects Sherry. Yeah, Kira hits the angels because Kira attacks the troops first. So the issue there is you're gonna have a bunch of Kira ticks going into angels doing very little damage, and then the Dark Elves would have to carry most of that damage. Oh! Oh yeah, no. So, yeah. Yeah, okay. So yeah, Kira responds with the... I think that was the 2C. She did bring the 2C to heal. We'll get the team back up to full. They're a great angle. Yes, yeah, sorry, yeah, no. I think Omega's archers attack first. I'm not sure. I think so. I think assassin normal attacks are weird like that. But I could be wrong. So if Juggler goes like here, he could hit the Omega and then there's no healing. And then it's actually kind of... You don't have a target for Kiera if you kill the Juggler here. Kind of an awkward position and map for Helena. But it does look like Helena can reach Omega. I mean, it'd just be... Probably have to Master of Ice then Helena combo. Hope to kill. Yeah. Well, Helena can reach for right now. But yeah, it looks like Vfree's going for exactly that. That's actually kind of why I was saying Helena can reach right now. Because I think she can only reach that Omega tile. He opens with Helena, dog dies. Yeah, and then you lose the combo either way. Vfree does have Act Again here, so he doesn't necessarily have to reach immediately. He can just push Helena up and then act her again with Liana, and then she should be able to reach just fine. Yeah. What is MeowSensei's best choice here? Well, at this point, you probably expect Helena to come in. So killing Juggler with worries about not having a target for Kira to heal afterwards should be fine. But killing Juggler doesn't really do anything for your position. You probably just move Christie, right? Just to put the buck back on your opponent's side. And Christie's action just isn't really doing too much here. Vfree did end up having to use that act again to get this. Although, did he? Yeah, well excuse me. That was kind of where my thought process was going. Did Vfree have to use act again to... Oh, okay. So, we're going for the Omega kill, and it was scored. Which means the main threat to Sherry is taken out. One of the issues with heal-less compositions against AoE like this, I mean, Vfree just found the angle to not AoE the Kira. Saw that Helena would probably kill this Omega in conjunction with it. I mean, that Omega was always going to be taking 2 AoEs. Pretty much the only thing MeowSensei could have done was run away with Omega. And then the question becomes, can Helena that sits like right here reach? 2, 1, 5, 1, 2. So yeah, Omega could have been moved out of range because of where he moved Kristen. That was an option for Meow. And now you definitely go in 3C the Sherry, right? Yeah, it's the only real target. And it was a unique share, so pretty easy kill, although even Last Rites probably dies of that. Very nice flow heal, but I'm not sure if that will save either of these units against Kira, especially not after they're gonna eat a Bozal AoE. In some respects, it might have been better to save it. Maybe just like punch the Sherry with flow. And act again, Liana. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I thought. This juggler should die. Kira is disabled. One unit down. But then the question is, does Vfree really win this endgame? Juggler dies, Helena backs off, and probably punches the Sherry. But then I don't think the Helena is going to be able to kill the Sherry. The Sherry runs away, and then it ends up being 2 for 1. I guess that's why MeowSensei didn't bring Goblin Rage. Wanted to counter kill, because he knew that once Jug jumps, that is his opportunity for Sherry to hop in and kill stuff. There also has Terrain Master, of course, so she ignores that water debuff. A nice answer. Yeah, MeowSensei just moves Sherry even out of range of getting hit by Flow. Sherry's act again is back up. Her rag does get disabled, which is a little annoying, although it doesn't matter against Florentia. It does matter a bit against Liana, but I mean it's double hit anyway. Although Sherry wouldn't be able to reach Liana, so yeah, it looks like Sherry pretty clearly is going for Florentia. Vfree just burning the juggler action, which I think is fine. Yeah. MeowSensei takes the juggler kill. And Vfree concedes because he knows that 3v4 is not one that he... So, yeah, Vfree went for the aggressive trade on the Omega and saw that the Omega was threatening his Sherry. Kind of had to do that because Omega has pretty damn good range. I mean, 10 range is really not bad. And it ended up being a 2 for 1 because of the Sherry counter. And there was probably not really many ways to prevent that unless every single unit is hugging the fog entirely. Maybe wait on going in and then lock down the Sherry with B-Shock. And that gives you some sort of opportunity. See if we see any box swaps. No, Vfree has a lot of units. See all his units all over the Baldia leaderboard. I'm not a big fan of Toe in this box. Yeah, Vfree isn't either. Instead, bringing a much more aggressive proposition. I mean, he had skill on his other units. Had skill on Liana and had skill on Helena. But yeah, the Vfree brings out the long leg. Ares and Elwyn. Definitely pushing this box more towards single target. I mean, Tiaris, enough of a clue there. And this gives first pick Christie some pause. Because if this Elwyn is the proper build, then Elwyn can one-shot Christie, although this map is a bit awkward for terrain for Unicorn. Instead, Vfree opting to ban Christie, and now there's no off-tank with green troops, so if Vfree, or if MeowSensei wants a tank, then he's gonna have to pick Juggler. And at this point, when you see the Wedham, you probably do not want to pick Juggler. Wedham will just shred through him. But I can also understand picking Juggler. What can Meow do to play the raid game? I mean, he can pick his own Wedham. In this case, Juggler is just here to soak up a couple hits and let the rest of MeowSensei's team carry. Elwyn gets banned, which is definitely one of the bigger threats to Juggler remove. Attack Blessing Tiaras Ham does seem pretty threatening, although I don't know how many people would second pick Tiaras. Lucretia is still a pretty big threat to this Juggler. Ban Rosin, pick Helena. Yeah. Yeah. Rosin's a lot more threatening against MeowSensei's composition than Tiaras, I think. Oh yeah, no, you're saying not banning Rosin on Vfree's side is big because this prevents if Rosin gets picked up here, then Ham loses a lot. He can't heal reverse the Juggler, which means he could potentially recoup. Also depends on the Ham build. If it's Bracer, then Ham might have trouble killing Dog. What does Hilda do? Well, she wasn't doing too much. Her aura is certainly good against Epsilon. She prevents Sherry, she prevents Lucretia, she prevents Ares. That's kind of it. Vfree should have the expectation of being able to kill this dog. One moment. Okay, so the double healer ban. MeowSensei gets pushed into picking Rosin. He just gets picked up. Now Vfree probably loses his last 2 DPS. Probably just, if you're Meow, you probably just ban Ares, Sherry here, and then it's all up to Helena, or it's all up to T-Jess and Ham to be able to get through this Juggler. The issue is, as long as that Pepsi is there, then it's gonna die for it. And we're gonna be locked back into the double healer comp. I guess we'll see if this Ham has skill or not. I would hope if you left Omega up till 4th pick, you would know that your Ham is skilled. Because I've definitely died with my hand to a tripled Omega. Two really good picks for me out here last, either Lana or Bozel. Probably Bozel. Action buff for Omega. Balls here, nothing can kill, yeah. I mean, Vfree can survive a little bit, but Vfree only has 2 DPS and is not in a position to make a good trade. Yeah, exactly. And Ham is kind of a trade unit. Kind of. It's gonna be... Because Vfree ended up picking this Hilda instead of some other supplementary DPS to try and bust through this competition, that means his only win con here is to push up with Hilda, and then when people are... I mean, even in tank range, it doesn't matter. Damn. They're just Epsilon and Omega to ignore guard, and Bozel to soften up this enemy team to make it easy when you do tank push. And yeah, Ham or TSdL both are not really going to one-shot dog. I guess the silver lining is that when Ham does go in is he can't be debuffed. But then Florentia, Florentia needs to hang back. Liana can push up. Maybe if Vfree plays it really slow, takes center. So savage, Lumos. But yeah, I think Vfree's only real shot here is to just play real slow and play in tank range, have all your healers around, and try to make something happen there. Maybe Gospel TSdL. Single target, pretty much what you'd expect. Fireball is kind of interesting. I would have brought Holy Light. Would have been nice against these werewolves too. Which, werewolves are actually somewhat of a mistake here. It's also a holy TSdL. So this dog might actually die in one shot to TSdL. And if that happens, then the game really opens up for Vfree. Again, double acting on Omega. Yeah, no lobsters is real risky. Now I would say Vfree's best thing to do here is probably to guarantee it as best you can. You don't want to engage until TSdL is 4 stacks. You can just hang back. That's what I would do. He likes act again, but he picks to be player 1. Well, I can understand. What's happening here is that, at least the first game, Rosin got first banned, so Vfree didn't feel comfortable fighting MeowSensei's composition without a dedicated healer, and he doesn't really have many off healers in his box either. So what ended up happening was MeowSensei forced Vfree on the last pick to pick between either a tank or a healer, and the healer is just going to be more useful when you already have a tank. And that actually, I don't remember, I'm pretty sure MeowSensei first banned Wedham this time? I could be wrong, I could just be misremembering, but regardless, it ended up the same in game 2, where Vfree was forced into picking either a tank or a healer last, and the healer's gonna be more useful. Vfree did also swap in a more aggressive composition with the Elwyn and the Ares and the Tiaras. With that composition, you kind of lean. A lot of what I see people do with it these days is they first pick Elwyn and then just go for the trade game. Elwyn is premier trader. But Vfree wanted to play a bit safer. Kenyo Breeze on Ham does not really matter that much because Vfree doesn't want to go in right now. And it's interesting that he did put the breeze on. I guess he just figures I have stacks. Might as well take the range. Non-unique Florentia as well, obviously. She put a Tenyo. But Vfree kind of made a mistake here. Well, yeah, let's see. Yeah. You guys are right. That's another thing Vfree wants to do. He probably just wants to flip turn prio here immediately. Anyway, the mistake. Vfree moved Hilda first, and then casted Tensei buff. Which means that when TS's Act Again is back up, she is not going to have an attack buff. Given that Pepsi will be zoning her a bit, a little awkward. This is also a dark buffed Pepsi, so he has double guard ignore. Yeah, now this is kind of awkward, because if with like Hilda buff, 4 stacks, I'm quite confident this juggler just melts. It is really high HP. But it still should be enough because the werewolves just get demolished. And he did use... If you're gonna, like, Vfree could probably go in with like 3 stacks, right? Like, don't teleport with TS here. Just move her, basically, and then you go in with, I mean, that's the thing. You're gonna lose a unit for that. He just has to wait. This is the Pepsi zone. There's no way for, well, I mean... The fact that Vfree spent teleport immediately just automatically indicates that he is not going to go in. No Esplan buff, yeah, because Dark buff is certainly a lot weaker for him. He loses a fair amount of crit. Also, this Ham does have skill. Also, a Bracer Ham. So yeah, Omega can't threaten. Yeah, if TS can one-shot this, he just one-shots the dog and then Ham goes in and kills Bozel, then Epsilon will eventually be fucked, yeah. And this Omega will be doing, like, literally nothing to this Ham. He will just be, like, tapping werewolves, potentially. And even Epsilon, he does have really high attack, but he has, like, almost no damage dealt. So it might be really hard for him to kill the Ham, too. I think things look good for Vfree, but it's pretty much just because Juggler brought Werewolf. There's no real other reason. It's just the fact that Juggler brings Werewolves means TS, especially the Holy One, could potentially one-shot him. If you bring Lobsters, then neither of those units should be able to one-shot you. Especially not a Bracer Ham. And you are protected against the heal reversal. Even if you aren't protected against the heal reversal, you have to spend 2 units to kill the dog, lose a unit after that, and it's not a good position because then you're 3 DPS versus 1 DPS. Really, these werewolves just totally opened up the freeze game. But yeah, this is very unfortunate, because it's going to be a long time until Hilda has buff. At this point, I do, like you guys were saying earlier, swapping over turn priority does seem like a good idea. Probably do it with the Hilda, that way you get the buff back up faster. Who's gonna get antsy and jump first? Neither of these players really have jump comps, honestly. Like we've been analyzing, Vfree can't really afford to trade. And MeowSensei's composition is a lot more shorter legged, except this Omega. Yeah, the only way Vfree can win is to jump with TSdL, one-shot the dog, then jump with Ham, and then kill something. But right now, we're not really going to see any jump because of this. Bad analysis. Analysis? Fuck me. Good anal. Thank you. But yeah, we pretty much gone over the win. MeowSensei's win condition is to get a nice trade, or just get a trade. Get a good trade, and the rest of his comp goes down. Vfree should be taking advantage of his double act again, can easily jump in and get some kills for free with that. Yeah, that's one of the things, and that's why it'd be a lot better to swap over turn priority here, because it's a lot easier to do act again shenanigans when you're player 2, because you have the last action. Yeah, but buffing and burning so early, like you can buff there, and that's probably fine, because I don't think a 3-stack TSdL is going to fail this kill. I think it'll be okay. I mean, and the other thing is, like, if you want to make plays with act again, then if you're player 1, doing that just gives your opponent an immediate chance to respond. Now you wait more. Yeah, he has to. Yeah. Miracle got casted. I mean, that is the thing with Meow's comp here, too, though. Like, Meow cannot really push in. What happens if Omega breezes? Yeah, even if Omega breezes here, he can only reach Liana, unless you just throw the Omega out. Which you could. Nah, that's just a free Omega trade, never mind. He has to stay in tank range. Because if Ham just kills Omega out of tank range, then there's nothing that can kill Ham after that, and you just... What's the Pepsi zone? Yeah. Acting on Hilda is definitely a move. You might think too little, too late. I've already sat here for 2 turns with turn priority. I might as well keep it, but... Like back in the old days where armies would stare at each other from across the battlefield and post up. Yeah, man. Got some line warfare going on here. It's just one of those games where Vfree right now does not have much incentive to go in. There's none, like, his units just aren't ready. It's not even that there's no incentive to go in, it's that he can't. He shouldn't. And then MeowSensei, he just cannot push up that well, and even now, card is running out. Just paralyzed by this Wedum. Because there's nothing that can kill Wedum after he gets a kill on one of these units. And even like Bozol doesn't do anything because Wedum is just immune to debuffs after he 3Cs. Even if he wasn't immune to debuffs after he 3Cs, he ticks debuffs down at double rate, so it's still not a big deal. That's the thing, like, giving MeowSensei a turn priority here just doesn't do anything for him. Like, he can't get anything done with that. I would guess we're gonna see Juggler probably go here, Pepsi go here, Rosin go here, and at least Jug's guarding everybody. It is Bracer Ham again, so probably not gonna kill. Especially like against werewolves. No problem, Spike. Like I said earlier, Genshin's got some fine-ass music. Like I own a rub and tug. Damn. Yeah, I don't know, it's so hard to find music to listen to on stream. I'm always like playing a game and I'm thinking I should just listen to this on stream. Then I always forget every time after. Now, I've been wanting to like play Fire Emblem music, but I know that Nintendo's been doing a bunch of fucking DMCA takedowns on that shit, so. Gotta find more games with good music. If only the game had music. Look, I'm fucking tired of Flame's music, dog. I am so tired of it. Fire Emblem music is fire. I love music, man. I listen to a lot of music. Where Fairy contest, MeowSensei didn't opt for the more forward position, instead he's just chilling here. I did kind of like Pepsi threatening a bit more. But I mean, with this positioning, he's not actually threatening much. Okay. We have Actigens. I mean, she got a damage buff. Gospel or anything isn't up. Leona Gospel herself? Yes. Not a big deal. No, he did act against something else. He used Liana act again on. I think he used Liana act again on Flo. and then flow actor again, Liana. We were busy talking about music. He can't engage until he rebuffs with Hilda, yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Definitely, act again Hilda here is the move. You want that buff back up ASAP. I mean, acting again Liana does tick down her acting and cooldown and her gospel cooldown, but I do think Hilda's the right choice. Vfree is running out of time. Yeah, I mean, we've gone over it pretty thoroughly. I think the best win condition here for Vfree is to teleport TSdL in, kill the dog in one shot, and then Ham goes in and kills stuff. Oh yeah, and this is in Omega range. It looks like Vfree just ran out of time. So yeah, I've gone over the win conditions quite a bit. This does look pretty GG. Unfortunately, Omega did not even die. Although even if Omega died, it's still a pretty bad situation. And now Vfree feels forced to do something, which I do understand. Ham cannot really 1v5, and Rosin Crystal healing just brings the dog back up to 100%, so no chance of killing. And there's three actions here. You hit Ham with either Rosin or Bozel, but yeah. Vfree concedes. He knows he lost. Like we've gone over. Werewolf Juggler was not a great group decision. It opens you up to potentially getting one shot by TSdL. I think that even like not holy TSdL, if she's 4 stacks, is going to one shot a werewolf dog. But holy TSdL should really have no issues scoring that kill. And after that, it feels that Ham can just dominate the game. Yeah, Vfree was out of time. He had like 6 seconds left on that move. So, congratulations to MeowSensei for advancing to the round of 32, and better luck next time to Vfree.